the DJC Collectibles Studio, I'm Midwest professional wrestling legend Gage Octane. And now, here's a guy who's been warned about time limits before, Kyle Peterson.
Kyle here, back again with episode number 63 of the Kyle Peterson Show. And as usual, we got a co-host, a girl who truly has the power, Angie. Angie, say hello.
Hello.
Hello, Angie. And Angie today is Masters of the Universe themed episode of the podcast with episode 63. We're diving into the Masters of the Universe movie, which we are fresh off of seeing last night for an early showing, so we could do this review and talk about it in this very episode of the podcast. We even got a He-Man inspired Try New Foods, Angie. You pretty excited for that?
Mm-hmm. Riveted.
She's riveted. Okay, well, you're going to have to carry a deep load on this one, Angie. I'm a very busy guy. I may be on vacation, but I think I've already got 4 hours of my work day in, and I'm taking a little break to do a podcast. No work-life balance for me. I'm a very frustrated individual. Frustration is what I am. But it is what it is. We're going to talk He-Man and the Masters of the Universe here today, and we got a lot to talk about with this movie. Or at least I do, Angie. I'm not sure. But it'll be interesting to hear the yin and yangs from somebody that doesn't know the lore, doesn't really know anything about it, to somebody that grew up from the beginnings of the Masters Universe. So we'll talk about all that here. We're going to try to do it spoiler-free as well, Angie, so we're not going to give any spoilers. Now,
I definitely didn't notice any discrepancies.
No, she didn't. She didn't notice a whole lot.
I didn't know what was going on.
But we did go, and we'll get into that here. But Angie, before we get too deep into it, we got to wish Angie a very special happy birthday. Angie, by the time this launches, you will have your birthday. So your birthday is the 10th of June. Everybody mark your calendars for next year. I don't know if Angie got any presents this year. It was a tough time for Angie. She was bad. She was real bad, let me tell you. But Angie, happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Where are you wanting to go? Since it hasn't happened yet, by the time it posts, it will be. Where would you like to go out to eat? If you could pick anywhere for your birthday, where would it be?
I don't even know.
Fazoli's?
I don't even know what I like anymore.
She kind of likes the Arby's.
My brain's burned out.
She's been wanting to go to Arby's. She's been wanting to try this meat mountain. She goes, I want to get this meat mountain they're all talking about. It's all the craze.
I'll probably just go to Texas Roadhouse.
Texas Roadhouse? Why does everybody go there?
I don't know, because there's a lot to... There's a variety.
I hate Texas Roadhouse. I can eat it, but there's so many places I'd rather go. I like to support local. Angie, she's all about chains, but I like to support these local places, because I care about my community. Just tell them you don't care about your community.
I don't.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't. I don't care. She cares about what she wants to eat. That's what she cares about. It's what it is. But Angie says, well, these Texas Roadhouse people, they live in the community, I assume. So we're supporting them. They live here. They earn a paycheck here. All right,
okay,
well.
Fine, I'll go to Olive Garden instead.
Oh, yeah. That fancy Italian joint. A step up from Fazoli's we normally get, so that's good.
God.
But maybe we'll recap that in the next episode, Angie. We'll recap Angie's fabulous birthday celebration, I can imagine. Angie, we got to thank the sponsor of the podcast, DJC Collectibles. Use discount code 8OFFDJC to save 8% off your entire order. Got to get the deal out there, and I'm sure they got some He-Man and the Masters of the Universe figures, like these new Chronicles figures here. I'm going to have to track down another Skeletor here. Apparently there's a new variant with a darker blue and more defined jawline. So I might have to track down another Skeletor.
They
we'll
didn't
see.
snatch him enough, or what?
I guess.
Let me see that jawline.
They're missing some sides. Kind of in the sides. I don't know. It's an audio podcast, so people aren't, maybe somebody's watching video. Shout out to you, the real ones, of course. And shout out to the realest ones, the Patreon members, the YouTube channel members who get this podcast video edition early each and every single week. You also support the channel. We do got a month of June giveaway in honor of Angie's birthday and my birthday. It is Professor Pig Platinum Edition.
That's cute.
Platinum Edition. This is the giveaway over
Nothing
there.
says Angie like
Nothing.
Professor
A
Pig.
bloody pig. That's about Angie. That's about how we sum it up some days. And we'll get you some pork chops at Texas Roadhouse while we're there. But here it is, Professor Pig giveaway. When the dust settles at the end of this year, when Todd McFarlane loses his DC license, this could be a top 10 figure of all time, in my honest opinion here. So this is the giveaway this month. If you want to support the podcast, be a part of all the fun, all the adventure over there, early access to all my YouTube channel videos from both my channels, a monthly bonus video, giveaways, all points in between. Check out the Patreon, check out YouTube channel memberships.
So maybe don't unbox it.
I'm not gonna. I already unboxed it.
No, I'm saying like when they get it, they shouldn't unbox it.
Oh, I gotta choose their own adventure. I'm not gonna tell them what to do, that's for sure. But Angie, we also got some other things coming up here. Some other things coming up. I don't know if you remember this. Just the other day, we went to Des Moines Con.
Yes.
Saw a good friend of the channel, Dave Wheeler. Dave Wheeler put on a panel and invited me to be a guest on the panel. Angie was there. She was riveted on the whole hour-long presentation. But luckily, once again, for Patreon members, you guys probably have that video up right now. Angie was nice enough to film the panel. Even with a little bit of commentary along the way.
I didn't think my voice would pick up that much. I called you a hoarder. What else? I called you all kinds of
You called me a lot of terrible things that you wouldn't say to my face. I'm very hurt by this. Angie was saying hurtful things. Now I know how you really feel.
No,
but we did do that panel, so I did record that. Angie did record that, so we will have that up for everybody to check out. But it was fun. We got there like at the end, so it was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday Comic-Con. Pretty big. I mean, once again, we did a little bit of a walkthrough in that video, and we've been there before. But we got there right at the end, and they were like, what? Panel? What? It's like closing. And I was a little worried. I did tell Dave, I was like, this is the very end. Like, is there going to be anybody there? And I was shocked how many people hung around to watch the panel and check out the panel, and we filled our whole time. We weren't just sitting there twiddling our thumbs or anything like that.
We even ran a little long. We were getting.
Yeah, we got the old hook out. You guys gotta go. You guys gotta go. But it was a good time, and I'm sure it'll be going on again next year. So, I don't know. Maybe, Angie, I'll just work the panel circuit in the future. There we go. Just go every week to a different con. And can you imagine how much you'd love that? Just going to all these cons.
So fun.
Look at all these toy weapons again.
Especially if I had to travel.
Yes.
I didn't want to go to the Des Moines one.
Yeah, she didn't even want to go the 20 minutes to the Des Moines one, let alone.
Like, let's go to the Seattle con.
Oh, she'd say, no, I'm all right. She said, I'm all right. Oh, my gosh. Well, and then as we're filming this, Angie, tomorrow is Marty Stewart, one of my favorite country performers of all time. He is in town. I'm not sure if I'm going to go. I can't believe this. Kyle of a decade ago, there'd be no question. I would have had my tickets by now. I'm playing it to the last minute. I am just defeated and exhausted, Angie. Defeated and exhausted is what I am. So we'll see if I end up going to that. I really want to, but it's like, do I want to take a nap? I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. So we got that. But then, Angie, another plot twist. Next weekend, we got Joe Bob Briggs is coming a couple hours from now, showing Bubba Hotep. And I said, I'm going to go see Joe Bob Briggs. I don't know how many more Joe Bob's got in him. He's in his mid-70s or so. And if he's anything like my dad, nearing his mid-70s, he doesn't want to do anything. So I have a feeling Joe Bob, I won't get to see. This will be the last time I ever probably get to see him.
I doubt it.
So we'll see. I'll probably get my picture with Joe Bob, maybe a hug, maybe even a kiss if I'm lucky. We'll see what ends up happening there. Angie's going to go for moral support.
Hopefully it's my last time.
Yeah, Angie's hopefully it's her last time.
One and done.
Angie just wants to lay in her bed and do ASMR and eat snacks.
I only do that in bed.
Yeah.
And I don't eat snacks.
That's what you want to do, though. Like, if you had a perfect day, what's my perfect day? Oh, I wouldn't get dressed. I'd just be naked in my bed, and I'd just lay there all day long, and I'd have snacks, and I'd have drinks.
You know what my favorite is? Fresh out the shower, getting naked into my comfy bed with my duvet.
And on my side of the bed. On my side of the bed is the other thing. I'm always coming in like, what are you doing? Why are you always on my side?
In there.
You are. Every time I walk in, it's a wild show, and I say, why are you on my side? What's that? It's like, I want to be close to you, as close as I could possibly be. I want.
You're on the closest side, so that means I was really tired, and I just.
You said, I just want your scent. That's what you want. I want to roll in your scent. You're a lot like these dogs. They like to get where I am.
It's more like a dog scent.
Yep. Yeah. That's
all
what
those
it is.
dogs cuddle you.
Oh boy, everybody wants to cuddle me. That's for sure. Let me tell you. But Angie,
I'm too much of a flipper flopper.
You're flipper flopper.
Like
so many positions. So many positions. It's like, can we just stick to one? But no, let's do 7 or 8. Let's 7 or 8 positions. That's what we're gonna do. But Angie, living the dream. Kyle, living the nightmare. Some things never change. Some things never change. But Angie, here we are. It is time to dissect this He-Man movie. It's time to talk all things He-Man. Now, this did debut nationwide on the 5th of June. June, beautiful month. Once again, did I mention Father's Day is in this month, my birthday, your birthday. There's a lot going on in June around these parts. But the He-Man movie, the 5th of June, everywhere. The third special sneak peek, whatever you want to call it. We got into the 7 o'clock show. Very nice theater. Angie, what'd you think of the theater accommodations?
Heated
recliner seat. Angie got her popcorn. Angie once again didn't want to support local, so she snuck in some candy to mix into her popcorn.
Fun fact, I never get popcorn. But I was like, I'm going to get popcorn this time. But kind of regretted it. It's The small was huge. I didn't even.
And it's so weird. Like, I never crave popcorn. I never crave popcorn at a movie. But then Angie eats like all of it except like a fourth of it. And I'm like, well, I might as well finish this off. So then I had one. And
it just gets in your teeth. It does something weird to your mouth, too. It
just doesn't.
It's so salty.
Yeah, I don't know. You usually like salty stuff, but not on this day.
Well, I usually just like swallow it quick, you know. Chew it around.
No, you play with it a little bit.
Gargle it.
I see what you're up to. But the popcorn was fine. It was what it was. I had the perfect amount. Like 4 real handfuls is probably what I had, and that was more than enough.
When am I going to learn my lesson? Even if it's hot outside, I got to bring like a sweater in.
Yeah.
I was freezing.
Even with the heated seats. Even with the heated leather seats. And last time we were in that theater, we were at the premiere of the G.I. Joe Crimson Archer fan movie starring a good friend of the channel, Midwest professional wrestling legend Gage Octane as Shipwreck. So
you guys should notice a theme here that we never go to my movies or concerts.
You never ask. You never ask. And we go to plenty of your K-pop concerts. Don't say they're not for you. I see you singing and dancing. Take that
I'm just
offline.
a team player. That's why.
Except for me, usually. You kidding me? And you wanted to see this He-Man movie. You're like, I like the looks of this. But the theater was good. They were also handing out posters.
Should I hold it up?
Yeah, there you go. So we got a couple of posters on the way out. Not sure if I'm going to do anything with these. They'll probably eventually end up in the recycling, but
witness how he became He-Man.
Yeah, so pretty cool to hand those posters out. I thought that was a nice touch. Now, this theater, for some reason, didn't have, I think it was only like AMC theaters or something that had all the popcorn buckets and the sword you could drink out of, all that extra stuff. So I don't know if I would have purchased any of that stuff. It's always expensive, but didn't get to see any of that stuff there.
So your cup wasn't He-Man at all?
There was nothing promotional as far as that stuff. So I did get some gummy savers or lifesaver gummies. What were they?
Yeah, that we snuck in.
That we snuck in. So I did have those as a snack, and I did get a Diet Mountain Dew for this one. Mm-hmm. And I got the large with the combo, so we split the combo. I took the drink, she took that. Problem was, I had to pee like a half hour into the movie, and I held it for the whole thing. And the movie's like over 2 hours long, so it's a long movie. So know that. Make sure you get your bathroom breaks in before you go into the movie, that's for sure. So there you go. But we started off, saw the movie. They showed some of the previews coming up. Any of these previews excite you? The Disclosure Day one about the aliens. I'm intrigued by that. I love the aliens, the cryptids, and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of weird stuff going on in the world right now. So that one does intrigue me. I don't know if it intrigues me enough to go to the movie theater. How about you?
I feel like that Odyssey one looked kind of good.
I thought that looked the worst.
Like she was like trying to get home or whatever. I don't even know what that was about.
Was that?
He was like a king or something
It's a tale as old as time. The Odyssey. It's like, about Homer. You know about Homer? Not Simpson, but, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's a long story, and we can fill you in later. But a lot of star power in that movie. But that was the one movie where I said, this looks like it's going to be 4 hours long, and I just can't go.
Yeah, but I would never go to the theater in it. But I'll give it a watch at home.
So that one, and then what was the other movie they showed a preview for?
The new Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, new Spider-Man. I would like to see that. Not sure if I'll go in the theater, but I would like to see that. That looks good.
There was some other superhero thing too. Oh, the Supergirl.
Oh yeah, Supergirl. Once again, I will probably see that on streaming. Not sure I'd go there. Looks like a story about a girl and her dog, much like me and my dog Lemmy. It kind of looks like that kind of origin story with Lobo coming in. It basically writes itself. I'm not sure about this Krim of the Yellow Hills. And I felt like there was maybe one other preview. Is there one more?
I don't know.
I don't know. They did show, or they didn't show
Dune.
preview. Oh yeah, Dune. I never saw Dune 1 or 2. I should shout out to the Jay's CD and Hobby, Jay's Toys and Games crew. They were in the same aisle as us by coincidence, so we talked to them a little bit. And I reached over to Adam, shout out to good brother Adam. I said, I haven't seen Dune 1 or 2, but Dune 3, it looks like I'm going to go see it at the theater. I'm going to go see this one. That's the plan.
When something like crazy would happen, like somebody died unexpectedly, you'd like look over it. I'm like,
oh man, what's going on? I can't believe it, but
because I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, and I never saw the original Dune. Wasn't Sting in Dune? Not the wrestler Sting, the musician Sting. Always confusing. But I don't know. That was it. But I did see a poster in the hallway for the new upcoming Jackass movie. I got to see that one. That's my style. That's what I need to see. That's the entertainment I want. I want mindless entertainment where Kyle doesn't have to think. I think too much during the day. I don't need to think. I just want to laugh. I want to see it. I want to process it quick, and I want to move on from it. I want to have to digest it and think about it. That's me. You like to digest and think.
Will Bambi in it, though. He's a hot mess.
I don't think he is. He's better now. Bam's better. He's been good for like a year now. But I don't think he's in it, or maybe there's it's a whole thing. But I would like to see that one. So does anybody want to go to that with me? Since Angie won't go? Maybe not. Maybe I'll go by myself. And speaking of going to the movies, I would have liked to have my dad at this He-Man movie. I know I would have called him and he would have said, I'm not going to that. But I think he would have enjoyed it because he grew up with He-Man with me. He was a part of that. He knows all these characters. He knows every single one of them in this movie. So I feel like he would have some vested interest in this movie. Now, me going into this movie, I am a lifelong He-Man fan from back when it, basically began as a very small boy. I've shown the pictures many times on the channel, me and He-Man, and me squaring off with Skeletor, and Orko was there as well. And that was quite the pivotal time in my action figure collecting, and I always give props to He-Man starting the madness, starting me in collecting and going to where I'm at now and collecting or whatever. Who knows if that would have happened without He-Man as a little kid. So, long-time He-Man fan, collected He-Man over many, many years, still collecting it today. We unbox about on my YouTube channel. Check it out if you haven't. Unbox pretty much every single He-Man figure ever over there, it feels like. So, a lot going on with He-Man, a lot of the storied history. Angie, now we get to you and your storied history with He-Man. You've ever seen the cartoon? Have you ever seen the original movie from the 80s?
No.
Neither. You're familiar. You know who He-Man is. You knew who Skeletor was.
Yeah.
Did
That's
you know
about it.
Did you know any other
I
character?
still can't name any of them.
Okay.
Evelyn.
Okay. Yeah.
And then Skeletor and He-Man. But
Yeah.
I already forgot. Everybody else has really weird names.
I want to go through here. We're going to talk about every character in this one, and we're going to give your opinion and my opinion. We're going to try to keep this spoiler free, so remember that on this one here. But I gotta say, going into it, I had very tempered expectations. You probably had no expectations. Had you seen previews, anything?
Not really.
Nothing at all. I tried to stay away from as much as I possibly could. I didn't watch any extra trailer. I saw the first trailer and that was about it. I'd catch some snippets on TV when they'd show something, but I tried to keep away from everything. If there was any kind of spoiler stuff, anything, I just kind of ignored it. I wanted to go in with a fresh mind. I want to make my own judgments on these things. Now, this could be my thoughts in this movie, my thoughts alone, Angie's thoughts as well. Whether you liked it or loved it, doesn't matter. It's my opinion, whatever. Your opinion is your opinion, and you like what you like, you don't what you don't. You guys know me, of course, probably holds, let's be honest, Angie, my opinion probably holds more weight than anybody else watching this, because as we all do know, I am one class away from a minor in film. One college class away from a minor in film, so unless you got that minor in film or above, which, come on, who does? Then you could say, maybe not. But I do like, and you guys, I just explained it, what I like my movies, I like mindless entertainment, I like fun, I don't want deep critical thinking, I don't want to feel bad at the end of the movie, I don't want that. That's not what I want. I got too much craziness every single day at work. I got too much stress at work. I don't need to be stressed out watching a movie. I want to enjoy. And as a whole, this movie did deliver for me. It gave me joy. Now, would I go see it in the theater again? Probably not. Will I watch it at least one more time when it's on streaming, wherever it is? Yes, I will. So that's kind of, I would say it was a very good movie. One of my favorite movies I've seen in a long time. Now, obviously, I'm going to be biased. I am a He-Man fan. I know the characters. I know the lore. There's some things I didn't like, and you're going to see that with any movie, especially stuff that's adapted like this. But it really stole the show for me. I really enjoyed it. Maybe a hair long. I think they could have craved out a few, maybe 10 minutes out of the movie, something like that. There was a couple of slow parts in there, where they got to profess their feelings to each other, talk about that kind of stuff. I was scratching my head for a pretty long part of the movie here, and I won't spoil it, but one of the major things about the He-Man animated series, and Angie, you don't even know what I'm going to be talking about here, one of the big things, kind of running joke, I was like, well, they must not be doing it here, and then at the very end of the movie, they kind of explained that kind of thing. So everything got brought back together, bringing everything together, and some of the people that, where are they? Maybe they came later, maybe they didn't. There was a few that came and a few that did not come. Obviously, they're going to set up for a sequel in the future, Angie. There's 3 post-credit scenes, so if you're into those, and it's tough when your bladder's telling you got to go pee, you got to really tough it through those. But 2 of the post-credit scenes I absolutely loved. One of them I hated. I hated because I hated it as a kid, and now I'm going to hate it if they do it as part of the second movie. It's not where I would go for a second movie if that's what they're Easter egging towards. I hope not. It's just not for me. And
It's pretty obvious that that's what they're doing.
I think so. I think we know where the second movie's going. I was hoping it would go in a different direction with maybe a band of bad guys that I would like to see. They're a little bit darker. I'm not going to give it away. And maybe we'll talk about it more in the future. Maybe you guys can ask Q&As for the future. We'll figure something out with the question of the week. But my expectations were tempered. I went in with a pretty clear mind, and I really did enjoy things. Now, slow. It was a bit slow at the start, I did feel. Angie, feel free to chime in. I'll turn to you here in a second. But it started off a little bit slow. Of course, you got to start off there with Prince Adam as a little kid, kind of the runt disappointment, you could almost say, in a lot of people's eyes. And trying to see his early life there. And then it went to the attack on the palace, attack on Eternia, and all that kind of stuff. And I thought that was very well done. That was the first moment of the movie where I got kind of goosebumps or chills or chicken skin, whatever you want to call it. I was just feeling a little bit there. And I will say that first battle scene was very, very fun. Very well done, I did think. And the funny thing while I watched this, and it's an interesting dynamic for He-Man. You think it's for kids, but it's more for people my age, really, with a mix in the middle, and you're hoping the kids will come along for the ride with their dad or grandpa or something, and everybody can enjoy it. And we've talked about that a lot on my YouTube channel and the action figure stuff. It's a pivotal year to get these people moving and keeping this brand alive. I think they did a really good job balancing between the two. I really thought the opening battle, in my head, I'm saying, this is how I played with my He-Man figures as a little kid. As a little 4 or 5 year old Kyle, I'm having the battle, and I would have the cartoon as canon. So I'd have, some of the storylines that go on in the cartoon, some of the team ups that go on the cartoon as I'm playing. However, it would take a darker twist where guys would get their heads chopped off. They'd get stabbed, they'd get shot, they'd get blown away, they'd get killed. I would do some of that in my playing. So it really felt like this was that one. Now, there was swear words in here. There was cussing in this movie. I think PG-13 was the way to go. I don't think PG would have been too kiddie. Rated R would probably be too much. So I think PG-13 was the perfect. And there was nothing that was overly... Like, I would never in a million years be scared to take a 13-year-old to this movie. No. I don't know if I think if my kids were 2 and 3 want to go, I'd take them to this movie. There was a couple of bad words, a couple play on words. So it was kind of like this podcast. The PG Howard Stern, somebody commented last week, is what somebody said. We're the PG Howard Stern from Once Upon a Time. But there were some innuendos across the thing. Maybe a little fisting every once in a while. As you love a good fist from time to time. It's a lot of work. You got to ram it in there. And then some Ram Man jokes. They were playing on all that kind of stuff. So you can imagine kind of the jokes of those, which not the funniest jokes in the world, but you kind of got to play off them at least once or twice there. So I thought that was fun. But I just think it was cool that they kind of reenacted what my childhood imagination was. And that's what I would want out of something like that. Now, the early 87 movie with Dolph Lundgren, spoiler alert, Dolph does make an appearance in this movie. Did you realize that?
No, I'm not.
Do you remember?
I don't know what you're talking about.
So Dolph Lundgren played He-Man in the 87 movie. With Courtney Cox was in that movie.
Okay.
And remember when Adam was at the gym working out and there's that old guy who's asking advice too?
Oh, yeah.
That was the original. That was the original He-Man in the movie. So
because he did a little, it was kind of a little wink.
Yeah, that movie was a struggle, and I liked that movie as a kid, and probably because I was, 6 years old or whatever, 5 years old when that came out. So, of course, you enjoy anything He-Man. But that one was a pretty big stretch. It didn't really feel like a He-Man movie. Canon Film. You know anything about Canon Films? Mm-hmm. Well, you should reach. There's a nice documentary on them. Film majors like me know all about the Canon Films, of course, Angie. But very, very good battle scene there at the beginning. I thought that was a lot of fun. Now, I will say there was multiple characters killed in this movie. Now, I was a bit shocked by that. I didn't think there would be any deaths in the movie. And I will say for me, one of my pivotal favorite characters was killed. And unfortunately, this character, we'll get into it here. And I won't spoil who it is. But 3 characters were killed. I would say... 1 surprise character, 2 surprise characters killed, and then 1 major character killed, I would say. And Angie's like, I don't even know what you're talking about. She can think of, but you don't know of them as a major character. And major in the pantheon history of Masters of the Universe.
I know which one got to you the most.
Yeah,
they dropped him like,
whew.
It wasn't even a build up for it. They were just
and I guess I'll say I loved the homage. I heard Todd McFarlane from the basement. He said homage, but homage, whatever you want to call it. Did you catch this? And this is where you turned out of The Walking Dead. I kept watching, but everybody remember The Walking Dead when Negan killed Glenn and Abraham and that whole thing and made them all kneel down, and then they went through kind of one by one, hit his bat. Skeletor, they basically reenacted that whole scene. I don't know if that was intentional or what that was, but Skeletor is sitting there and he's got his crew with him and all that kind of stuff. And unfortunately, they took one of our heroes and just killed him right there in front of all of us. I couldn't believe it. And this is a character I really love, and maybe one of the most underrated characters ever in the Masters of the Universe. And I don't think he had one word of dialogue. they showed him, and like, I'm like, oh my gosh, what's he doing there? And it was I felt like he was a strange choice to even be in the movie in the settings he was. But they showed him briefly. They showed him briefly another time, and then they showed him getting killed, and that was it. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So that was pretty disappointing for me. And then 2 other characters were killed, one a major character, one another ancillary character, and he actually died a pretty violent death. I was pretty impressed with that one. Do you remember that guy? There might have been a horn like jabbed into him and thrown off I don't know, but I won't spoil that either. But I like that there was deaths there, and some of the characters that died make sense because you're kind of scratching your head if you're a longtime He-Man fan. Why is he in this movie? Why would he be in this one here? That doesn't make a lot of sense. Well, now you know why he was in that movie. So that could be a spoiler. It might not be. But I did enjoy the death scenes in it. I enjoyed a little bit of that. It did get a little preachy a couple of time or two. I thought it was a fun play that Adam was in Oklahoma City of all time. Shout out to Oklahoma City. OKC as some call it. I thought that was kind of fun that he worked HR and he was looking for his sword to get back to attorney. It was a whole deal thing with that. That was a big part of the movie. Not as big of a part of the movie. I kind of, when I saw the preview, I thought like the first half of the movie would be him trying to track down his sword, because they told you that in the first preview. Him trying to track down his sword, trying to find a way home, and then the very end would be him like coming back to save him for the battle. I am very happy it didn't quite go that way. There was more to the story. It wasn't as much Earth as I thought it was going to be. I was very happy about that portion of it there. What?
I'm just sitting here.
Okay, well, did you want to give?
Did
you want to give any thoughts here before we get into the character stuff?
The only thing that bothered me was them trying to portray him as scrawny and uncoordinated when he clearly looked like he was very built under his earthly clothes. Because he was just wearing like a polo or like a long sleeve and a.
That's why I'm wearing this.
And they try to make him seem like, oh, I'm so uncoordinated, I'm so scrawny, and you can like clearly see he's like ripped under his clothes.
Now,
me,
that's interesting because I was thinking of that and I was like, did they film this when like before he hit the gym, and then for his He-Man scenes were filmed later after he hit the gyms? Because he did have like a baggier shirt, kind of like this thing going on, so that would hide some stuff. But I thought he looked buffer after. I didn't think he looked the same. It was close, but I didn't think it was the same.
But he had I think he was buff under those clothes.
He could be. And the clothes
he had that booty and those khaki short pants.
Angie always checking the booty.
Mm-hmm.
But he
and like he was always falling. Like they were trying to portray him very.
And that's how they started as a kid. He wasn't ready for this, and there was some stuff fast forwarded through and maybe should have been explained a little bit more. It was amazing how the minute he gets the power, which no spoiler there, you know it's He-Man, he's going to get the power. The minute he gets the sword stuff, he all of a sudden is just this super battle-ready guy ready to go, where before he's like a bumbling kind of fool a little bit. I did like when they had him as Adam. They had him in the pink, though, the hallmarks of the classic costume that he had. So it was like a throwback to that. And then at the very end, there was some fun stuff at the end, really. The homage, Todd McFarlane, to the cartoon and some of the prior outfits and some of the gags and stuff. So I thought that was kind of fun. They kept him
as a bad driver, like on Earth. He was a bad driver. Yep. He was always like putting in the wrong gear or whatever, and then he was a bad driver when he was trying to drive that like whatever spaceship thing.
Yeah, and there was some wild stuff where you got to suspend disbelief on some of his fighting, but then I'm like, wait a minute, this is a whole world. You got to suspend all the disbelief in this kind of thing. There was some characters, especially on the good side and bad side, that I would have liked to see in the movie that were not. Some heavy hitter characters. I think you guys have seen most of the characters who are in it. I'm shocked they weren't in it a little bit, or weren't in it at all. Have to imagine if we get the second one, maybe we'll see some of those ones in that. And obviously the 3 credit scenes at the end.
And the cat wasn't really in this one that much.
Yeah, I thought Cringer would have been in it a heck of a lot more. He was at the beginning as a kid, as a real, not a puppy, a kitten. Yeah. A kitten. He was a kitten, and he was very cute as a kitten, I thought.
Yes.
And he wasn't in it very much, and then he came in at the end, and then I'm like, wait a minute.
Did you like the voice, though? I didn't like the voice.
Yeah, I don't know.
As a grown-up.
I mean, it was very similar to the cartoon for both of them, so that was that. But they...
I thought it should have been a little deeper, more. It kept it kind of high-pitched or something.
Because his whole thing was, like, Cringer, I'm scared, I'm meek, I'm mannered, I don't want to turn into Battle Cat, and then
so he has the same kind of, like, persona is Adam.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm
it was a
scared.
little different in this movie. He was supposed to like be a cat, like a little cat, and then he gets turned into a huge, massive cat when he turns. Like He-Man gets bigger too. It was supposed to be that kind of thing. Not quite in this movie. I was like, wait a minute, where's all of his outfit and all that for Bat-Cat? But then at the very end, they did show that. So you get what you want.
It was cute. It was cute. The fight scene that he had to go in, the first fight scene, and he was like, I can't go. Or next time I need armor or something. Like he had no armor. He was scared.
So it was fun. A lot of the questions I had, like, wait a minute, they actually answered in the movie, especially towards the end, which I thought was a nice way to, like, get those people that say, well, they didn't go to canon. Well, here they explained why. I
noticed they did a lot of, like, spoofing on, like, like the language of He-Man throughout the years, like, that they thought was cheesy. They kind of like made fun of that in the movie. Did you like that, or did it bother you?
It wasn't bad. There was a ton of Easter eggs in that movie, and Angie, 99% of them you didn't even know.
Yeah.
And that's the fun thing. That's for the hardcore, longtime fans to see little things, but it didn't affect Angie's viewership as not knowing any of that stuff. It was, you've got the original. You remember how he got the sword out of that statue?
Yeah.
That was the original drawing for what He-Man was originally supposed to look like.
Ah.
So like a little tribute to that. And then you see like the big Jim figures in the background of the toy store. Mm-hmm. That is where they got Battle Cat from the Mattel line. They just repainted that figure to put it in there. So there was a lot of stuff with that. I was very interested to see some WWE figures in the background of the toy thing, which I'm thinking all these toys in the background, I was really noticing that, being a toy guy, of course. I found it interesting. It wasn't all Mattel property back there. They had some X-Men stuff, like those Beast statues, which is more Hasbro and other parties. If I'm making that movie, I'm only putting Mattel stuff in that case. Even if people notice it or don't notice it, at least it's Mattel stuff. Yeah. I think I even saw Jakks Batista in the background there.
I love that you noticed that. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I saw Jakks Batista in the background. I saw Mattel Cena in there. But I found that to be kind of interesting. And who knows? I think Batista could make a good Masters of the Universe character along the way. Maybe he could be Manny Faces. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. But I really did enjoy the movie as a whole. Angie, you going in not knowing anything, what were your thoughts as a whole for the most part? You wouldn't see it again at the theater, I don't think.
No, I liked it. I thought it was good. I thought it was going to bother you that they were like making fun of it. Like they would like say a like popular phrase and they'd be like, yeah, that's actually what they said. Or you know what I mean? Like,
I really think that Mattel did a good job including everybody into the movie.
Yeah.
For the hardcores, for people that are, I think they did a really good job with this one. And I'm sure there'll be bad reviews. I haven't seen any reviews yet, but I'm sure some people will hate it like any other movie. But if you're a longtime He-Man fan or a new one, I think it's worth the 2.5 hours, whatever it is. It's not going to change your life. It's not going to ruin your life. But if you're a fan of the property, I think you'll get more enjoyment. I know I enjoyed it a lot more than the 87 movie, and I watched that movie way too many times to count over the years. This makes me wish this had a G.I. Joe theme. If they could do a G.I. Joe movie like this. The G.I. Joe movies, I've seen them all, and they just... You don't want to go over the top for laughs, but you got to find that right mix. And I feel like the G.I. Joe could do something like this with a little bit of a joke to the past, but also serious, but also full of action. And then, much like I talked about with this movie, this was how I imagined playing He-Man with a kid, where there'd be death and stuff. Do that in the G.I. Joe movie. Yes, I know G.I. Joe Retaliation, they righted a lot of wrongs. Let's all admit to this right now. They did kill Duke very early in that movie. That was probably the best thing. That really raised that movie's ranking a lot for me. They killed him right away. That was a smart thing to do. Get rid of that Channing Tatum. He was terrible. Flint took over as the true leader.
Did you feel validated when he died? Like,
I really did. I was
they know.
They know. They understand what's going on here. And I would love to see a modern day, almost like a G.I. Joe Resolute, if you're Angie, I'm speaking a different language to you, but G.I. Joe Resolute cartoon, if you could get that as a modern adaptation, I think that would be absolutely amazing. But Angie, I want to talk about each of the characters here. Now,
the only thing I was going to say is I feel like whenever I watch these kind of movies, I'm always like disappointed how like joking it is. Like I want it to be like serious action, a love story, and it's always like kind of very spoofy, like more geared toward kids, which I get it, but like I want it to be like, I want to cry, like I want to like get emotion. And there was a little build up to the romance between He-Man and that girl,
Tila,
but they never.
No, and they never really.
She almost like was rejecting him, like, oh, you're my friend. Kind of a thing. I shouldn't have said that probably.
Well, that's pretty much how it was.
Happens?
Pretty much. I mean, and there's different canons. Like Skeletor has a little bit different history on some different things. So
but that's just a girl perspective, I guess.
Yeah.
I want it to be like more romance and.
I didn't want any more romance.
Not romance, but like I don't know, just a little bit more.
I feel like if they would have went full on dark or more like gritty. I just feel that would have lost a lot. So I think they played it perfectly there. And I just don't know. And I've said it a million times. I love He-Man, and I love the He-Man cartoon as a kid. I loved He-Man. I loved G.I. Joe. I loved Transformers. I loved Mass. I loved Cops. I loved a lot of properties as a little kid, and a lot of ladies too. But I loved a lot of properties as a little kid. I still feel He-Man does not hold up the best as a lot of the other properties. They are very hard to watch, those early He-Man episodes. I know some people don't agree. That's your opinion. That's fine. But they are very, very tough to watch all these years later. As a kid, I thought it was the greatest thing ever, but they're pretty rough to watch. So they played a good line between a little bit of gritty actionness and some of the kiddie past as well.
Well, this movie was definitely made for you, so
as
long as you're happy.
And by the looks of the audience, it was made for people like me. It was pretty
was
much
all 40-year-olds with some young kids. I think I was like
30-year-olds.
There maybe was like one other girl there than me.
Yeah, I think maybe. And then there
I
was
was a real one.
there was some dads taking their kids. I think I only saw one girl in there. Maybe there's a couple.
There was a guy dressed up.
Yeah, there was one guy dressed up as He-Man.
I took his picture.
Yeah, for him. Angie didn't take it, but for him. But yes. But Angie, now we're gonna dive.
I was like so like. Oh my god, this is so awesome. Can I take your picture?
We're going to dive into some of these characters, just give brief thoughts, as brief as we can possibly be.
Tell me who they are, because I already forgot.
So He-Man. Now, I'm going to tell you, I don't know any of these characters' real names in real life, barely at all. A few I'll try to remember, most of them I don't. So Nick Gerlazzi or Garizzi,
yeah.
Never seen him in my life, don't know him from anything else.
Very new, unless you've seen like new movies.
Don't know him from anything. And it was funny as I thought he was terrible at the beginning of the movie as Adam into He-Man, but it grew on me through the movie. So that's how I felt. So any thoughts on He-Man?
He's just... Yeah, he did good. He can't cry. Like the scenes where he had to cry was like...
Yeah. So
bad for me. But he looked good. Did you think he looked good?
Yeah, he was packing some heat down there, it looked like.
Well, not that part, but like... Overall, his persona, like his hair, and did you think he like looked enough like what you would?
It was funny.
think?
I didn't until like later in the movie. I finally like when they were having that like Tila scene. I kind of saw the hair a little bit, where I understood what they were going for, but more of a modern take. But it did look that way. It was all right.
And any other characters I can think of that are like bigger guys or would have been too old.
Yeah, like you could see John Cena.
Yeah,
but he's too
couldn't
old.
Have been 40.
And I don't know if he would have worked in that or not. I feel like He-Man, Batista, some of these guys could work in the He-Man universe, though. Just gotten to find the right role. Maybe Batista could be Buzz-Off and He-Man could be Stratos. Who knows? Or John Cena could be Stratos. But, I don't know. He-Man, it was weird. It's like a He-Man-centric movie, but He-Man wasn't... I like that there's a lot around him, so that's it.
It's weird because the emotional scenes... I didn't think he did great in, which I thought he would do. And then, like, his fight scenes, I thought I was impressed. So it was, like, weird. Like, I didn't think he'd be very good at the fighting.
Yeah.
And he'd be better at the emotional parts of it, but it was actually the opposite. Like, his fight scenes were really good.
And I didn't feel like he overpowered any scenes or anything. He flowed in there pretty good. So that's my opinion there.
Yeah.
Now, Mecha Neck. You remember Mecha Neck at all?
Oh, the...
Long neck. Okay. That was my dad. One of my dad's favorites, one of mine. Crazy thing for me was I never in a million years thought about using his head as a weapon. Like you saw him constantly in that shooting his head and like boom, knocking people over and stuff. I never occurred to me that that's what he would do as far as and maybe he did that in the cartoon. I just don't remember, but I never used him that way. But I thought that was interesting.
I have no recollection of him till towards the end when they were escaping. Or whatever.
He was in the beginning, but then that was one of the questions. He showed up at the beginning of like meeting the heroes, and then he disappeared forever, and then he was at the end. I'm like, that was one of the questions. Where did Mecha Neck go? And then, now he's back. Okay, he's back. So there was that. Now, Ram Man. What did you think about Ram Man?
Cute.
It was all right. A lot of people mad about the race swap on him. He's an Asian guy now, where he used to be kind of like a short, stocky, fat guy, white fat guy in the cartoon.
Well, for some reason, the Asian worked with like. I don't know.
So I got a lot of people mad in my review on Ram Man because you know about Who Hot, the restaurant?
Oh, yeah.
He looks like the mascot of Who Hot. He's got the same kind of facial hair. Like, it looks like the mascot. Kyle's racist. Now I'm unsubscribed to this channel because Kyle is a known racist. Good that they call themselves out. Yeah, good. I'm like, he literally looks like the guy, and then he's got the
stocky. He definitely almost looked like he had no neck. He was very stocky in that helmet.
And I thought he was fine. Him and Fisto were the buddy team, and that's why they came in the 2-pack for Chronicles. Makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Ram Man was fine, and that leads to Fisto, of course, fisting everybody. The joke back from the playground continues on to today. They mentioned it a lot of times. There was an interesting thing, like these weren't these guys' names, but it was basically Adam's interpretation. You'll hear it in the movie, but I thought that was interesting.
Remembered them
it was an interesting twist on how they were named, so I found that to be interesting. But I didn't care for the guy that played Fisto. I felt like there could have been a better actor out there. Now, once again, I'd like Don the Predator Fry as Fisto, but he's too old. I understand. He doesn't work. But I don't know.
He was short. Like, would you have pictured him to be short?
No, Ram Man's short, but Fisto.
Well, Ram Man's short, but Fisto was also short.
He was taller than Ram Man. I thought,
but not tall. He wasn't taller than me.
Now, in some lore of He-Man, Fisto and Man-at-Arms are brothers.
Oh, weird.
But it wasn't in this one. At least they didn't
Obviously.
mention it or say anything. But he was some like Swedish guy or something. I think the Fisto guy, but. He was all right. I don't know. He
was very offended by his nickname, and then he was like playing.
Then he endorsed it.
Then he was like,
it's like Angie. Once you get fisted, you finally eventually.
You're like, oh, I get it. Now.
I get it now. I enjoy it. I'm gonna own it. I'm gonna own what I'm doing now. So there's that. Now, Angie, this one stole your heart. Was Roboto?
Yes.
I hated Roboto in this
didn't.
movie. I don't like Roboto as a girl.
But it would have been weird if it was supposed to be a boy and it was a girl, but I don't know that because I didn't.
And it was voiced by Kristen Wiig, which I thought was funny, too.
I thought I recognized the voice. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know that going into it until I saw the credits. But Roboto, a service maid and then a battle robot, man-at-arms thing. A lot of the history, but I like the classic look of Roboto. At the end, they gave a little bit of a peek to the classic costume in a few ways. But
her like upgrade or whatever.
It didn't work for me on the Roboto, but Angie liked it, so it's a little bit of something for everybody else.
There has to be like a balance of like male to female in the
So that. And then Moss Man, which is a big surprise. Unfortunately, if you watch my channel of the Toy News, when I do the Toy News videos, there was a leak of Moss Man coming from the Origin Collection. So I'm like, Moss Man's in this movie? So I found out Moss Man was going to be in the movie by the action figure. And I thought that action figure looked absolutely god-awful. And unfortunately for me, I didn't think the character in the movie looked that good either. It looked like the figure. So if I had to do a Moss Man, I would have had Moss Man look a little bit more like Beast Man for me in my brain. So I'll leave it at that with Moss Man.
I have no idea.
Yeah. Now, Tila, what'd you think about her?
Is that the
girl,
Camilla?
I don't know her name.
That's her name in real life, I think. I think she was cute.
Okay.
She was cute.
All right.
Like, perfect amount of fit. It did throw me off because I feel like she got, like, lip filler for this role. So, like, it was throwing me off the way she looked. And she had the contacts in.
Okay.
She was cute.
All right. Then we went to Man-at-Arms. One of the big stars, Erdis Alba or something like that. I thought he was okay. I know
the black guy?
Yeah. A lot of people didn't like the race swapping on all that. I don't hate that. It's just in my eyes, I think of Tom Selleck as Man-at-Arms. That's what I think of. An old guy. He would have worked pretty good, but I get it.
He was a good actor, though.
Yeah, I thought he was fine. It was a typical woe is me Man-at-Arms story, so it was all right. Man-at-Arms my favorite character in this day and age, and He-Man too. So
they're like, we got to throw an Asian and a black guy.
They got to mix it all up. That's the story of the world now. So moving to the bad side here, we'll try to go kind of fast, Andrew. We're about 40 minutes in here. We still got we got a long try new foods here. And, we try to keep these episodes around an hour for you people. That's what we try to do.
Oh my god.
But Angie, we got Evil Lynn.
I didn't really like her. I think she kind of annoyed me.
Yeah, it was a mixed bag, I thought. A little tongue-in-cheek, a little hallmarks to the past, some newness. There was some...
Maybe her voice was too, like, high-pitched. Like,
I don't know.
Like, she didn't seem evil. She seemed like she was, like, trying to be evil, but I'm not really.
Yeah. So I don't know.
And they kept, like, I don't know if she ever turns on him in the movie, but they kept implying that she was going to turn on him.
That's always kind of been the thing throughout the years. Was she going to turn on him? Is she going to be a love interest? Is she going to be just a teammate? So they kind of play all those angles a little bit as well, which speaks to Skeletor. Now, Skeletor to me, Jared Leto, I guess, had some like Me Too movement stuff or whatever, so they really dialed him back. I would have never known that was Jared Leto because it's just his voice, and I don't know if I even know Jared Leto's voice to even know.
I didn't even know that.
So it didn't hurt me too bad. I will say though, some of the words, like when Skeletor would talk, it was hard for me to understand because he had like, I don't know if it's an accent or what you want to say, but some of the words, like I was like, what did he say? I couldn't even understand it. It was like such a weird.
Was he trying to distort his voice? I couldn't even tell that was him.
I don't know what was going on, but a couple of times I felt like the words didn't come clear. Like the audio needed to be clear, or he needed to be enunciating a little bit more or something. I'm not sure, but I found that a few times, and I'm not thrilled with the Skeletor look. I feel like there's a better looking Skeletor they could have had in the movie. I would have liked to have been a little bit more jacked. I mean, that's to everybody's preference.
He was pretty jacked.
I would have liked to see but it felt like a guy wearing a rubber suit to me.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like a guy that was actually muscular.
It looked fake.
Yeah, it just, I don't know. I like the eyes that they darted around when he was talking to, the red eyes and stuff. The face was pretty good. The hood was pretty good. But I felt like they could have had a better representation of Skeletor, and I wish the voice was a little bit clearer sometimes.
I also hated when he would be like, ha ha ha, like doing his evil laugh, and then he would do it too long, and then everyone got quiet, and then everyone was laughing.
And that was some
at
of
him.
those tongue-in-cheek stuff from the past.
Yeah, see, I didn't like that.
And that's hard.
Stupid.
That's hard too, because you want to take him as a real threat, but then they threw in a couple of corny jokes where I liked those, but I don't know if I appreciate him the least for Skeletor. He should have been a little bit more evil throughout on this.
I could be like, what? Was it too long? Like,
yeah.
He would like talk over it too. It wouldn't be like, I don't know.
That was a little rough. Spikor, you remember him, the spiky guy? A bit of a C-level villain, I would say, in the back of the day, but I would say probably the best looking villain in this one. He looked like something straight out of a horror movie, out of like a Clive Barker Hellraiser movie or something like that. I loved Spikor in this. I thought he looked really, really good.
I have no thoughts.
All right.
I can't even remember him.
Beast Man is an all-time favorite of me. I love a hairy bipedal creature. You know me, I'm a Beast Man at heart as well, so I enjoyed him a lot. Very big and brooding. A little CGI-y too much sometimes, where a couple of times he looked smaller and then he looked way bigger. I noticed a couple of times.
Was he the one that came to Earth?
Yeah, and he was jumping on the cars.
Yeah.
And it was weird to me how he got to Earth and he was like the only bad guy. Like, why do you send a team to Earth but not multiple people? Why would you only send Beastman? That felt a little weird too. But I love Beastman. I was glad he was in that movie, and some of the hallmarks of Beastman's past. I thought that was pretty good. Goat Man, a bit of a surprise in this movie, a bit of a deep cut character, but looked really good. He was played by like the world's strongest man from like the World's Strongest Man thing. Just a big old giant, all in red. Very, very deep cut. We got him in the Masters Universe Classics line once upon a time, as you do know, of course. But I liked him. I thought he looked pretty good. Karg, which is another one that a lot of people were surprised about. This was a villain that was made up for the last movie, so that was a way to tie it into the 87 movie a little bit. Always creepy. I always thought he looked creepy and scary. Wish Blade would have been in it. That guy I met at San Diego Comic-Con, Blade would have been great. He's just like, I don't know what you're talking about. But I did like Karg being in it. I thought that was a nice touch to the past. And then one of my absolute favorite characters ever in He-Man is Trapjaw. You remember Trapjaw?
That's what I was thinking of.
I was very disappointed. I didn't like the looks of Trapjaw in the movie.
Oh, you didn't?
I did not like the looks. There's something about the face I didn't like, and it's like I wanted a bigger chin out. There was a lot of body designs on him and Skeletor I would have changed to make a little bit darker, a little eviler. He just had a strange stance to him, I did feel. But I do enjoy Trapjaw. I was very glad he was in the movie. But these are the main characters. Now, there was a couple other Easter egg characters.
I feel like he was in it a lot. Like, he had kind of like a run-in with like everybody.
He was kind of like the equivalent of Man-at-Arms. So he was a little bit higher on the totem pole in this movie than in the cartoon, at least in my brain, how he felt. Yeah. Your mileage may vary, but he kind of was the main enemy of Man-at-Arms in a lot of ways in this movie. Everybody's got to square off with somebody. He-Man, Skeletor, and then you had Evelyn and Teal. I mean, that's just kind of the way those things do go. But all in all, very good character selection. I am hoping for the second one we get a little bit more character selection of some of the other characters I do enjoy. There was a couple of Easter eggs they mentioned, so you have to think if there is more, those people are going to be in it because they did kind of reference them a little bit. I didn't like Adam's roommate. That was one. He's in like 5 scenes, very small, but I didn't like that whole thing.
They also had to throw a gay guy in there.
Was he?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, I didn't get that, but I guess.
Because remember, he was watching all like the movies and crying.
Well, some straight guys like to cry at movies. I'm sure they sit there with.
They were trying to imply it. Very heavily.
I guess, whatever. And, you know, He-Man about them Pride. It is Pride Month. It's not just your birthday and my month. It's Pride Month too. Yep. So very prideful over here. But all in all, He-Man movie, Angie. I'm going to sum it up. You got to go see it at least once. If you're watching this channel, you watch my YouTube, just see it at least once. I get it. You don't want to go to theater. Watch it streaming. It's worth watching at least one time. I'll watch it at least another time when it goes to streaming.
I was shocked. I was never bored. Yeah. Like, it didn't, for me, it didn't.
And you were
very slow.
And after that movie, I've never seen you so charged up and revved up for a night. Usually she's like, I gotta go to bed, but not this night. She was not going to bed after this one. So take that for what you will. But Angie, that is a long, long recap of the He-Man and the Masters Universe movie, but we got one more segment. We gotta dive into it. Brought to you by Deutsch Snacking Dough. I can't even talk. Brought to you by Deutsch Snacking Dough. Use the link in the description down below. It is time to try new foods, because they might taste good.
We can try a little bit of this and a little bit of that. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. We gotta try new food.
Alright, it's time to try new foods. It might Tastes good. And Angie, this week, because it's He-Man centric episode, Angie made a stop today to Krispy Kreme. So we got them fresh. And we got the 3 He-Man donuts of Krispy Kreme. Don't drop them on the floor. That's all we need. So, Angie, we're going to eat one. We'll each take a bite off of each one. So we only got one of each. Angie didn't want to give us our own donuts. You know, this show doesn't make a lot of money. You guys are going to be surprised, Angie. I will tell you, though, I just got, from the podcast, $40. $40! Will that pay for these donuts?
The smell of a donut is so strong, you can really not even, decipher the...
So, anyways, we didn't buy a donut of each one because we're trying to cut costs around here. We're trying to cut costs. Production costs are being cut on this show. But, Angie, we're going to go into this, and which one do you want to start with?
Just start with the He-Man one.
All right. He-Man Caramel Crunch, red caramel icing, cheesecake frosting, graham crumble, and a candy topper. So, apparently, He-Man is edible on this one here.
Okay.
So, you can take first bite. Oh, look at her going right in on that one. Looks like a traditional Krispy Kreme donut with toppings on it, basically.
I don't like it. Is it the red frosting that tastes weird, or the...
It tastes like what I imagine He-Man tasting like. I didn't taste any graham cracker in that. I didn't even see any graham
It's
cracker.
the red frosting.
So
Red frosting's gross.
It's red caramel icing.
That's gross.
The cheesecake
The
frosting.
cheesecake drizzle is really good.
And then a candy topper.
Eat them.
Wow,
This
super soft. Angie going right into the groin
Balls.
area.
Ew.
What?
It's like chewing gum.
It is kind of like gum. It's a candy topper.
Well, if you didn't get any of these, that's the graham cracker. Maybe that right there. But I don't. That red caramel frosting's gross.
So what are you giving this one out of 5?
2, I guess.
2 out of 5 for me as well. I think it was fine. I didn't hate it. I just wouldn't get it. It just basically tastes like a regular Krispy Kreme donut. So there's not a lot of specialness in that one there.
Except the frosting's gross.
That-
Skeletor.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going in line
Yep.
here.
Chocolate custard filled. I'm not going to like this. Dipped in chocolate icing and covered in a cookie crunch. I don't like filling in my donuts unless it's like raspberry filling. I don't like custard and all that white cream. Angie's gonna get that cream all over her face. Didn't even get any.
Tastes like pudding.
Look at that.
That's not for me either.
It kind of looks like, it reminds me of those Hostess cream pies.
Probably tastes better to me without the pudding.
No.
But yeah, it just tastes like a if you get a Long John
Nope.
with chocolate.
It's exactly what I do not like in a donut. This sums up my least favorite donut, so I'm going 1 out of 5 on this one.
I'll give that one a 2 as well.
I don't like the pudding in the middle or whatever that is, the custard. I don't like that. The cookie, the too chocolatey crunch on the top, I'm not a big fan of that either. Not what I'm looking for. So let's
Is
go.
this supposed to be the cat?
Yep. Cringer Claw cookie dough. Original glaze dipped and drizzled with cookie dough icing. Jeez.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
And that's my favorite, but I also don't get cookie dough. But the frosting doesn't distract from the flavor. It all just kind of tastes the same.
It's
And
weird.
can you decipher that's glaze versus...
I thought it was apple. And I was tasting apple because I think the green was making me think apple. There's no apple in this. Glaze dipped and drizzled with cookie dough icing. The icing's cookie dough.
I could never in a million years tell you that's cookie dough. But that one's the best tasting.
I'll give that one
3, I guess.
I'm going to give that one a 4 out of 5. It tastes like a regular Krispy Kreme, but it's got the icing on it. So it's just a little bit more ice, a little bit more chunky icing. That was fine, but that one was easily the best one of the bunch.
Yep. But fun.
How much were these each?
You can get a 3-pack for $7, so $2.33.
3 donuts, $7. I don't know. Worth a try one time. I don't think we're going to be back for these. And I'm sure they're limited edition offerings. They're not going to be there forever.
I just want an original.
Yeah. I like the raspberry filmed ones there.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I like. A warm raspberry filmed one. Angie likes one with the white cream, just tons of white custard, and just blows up all over her face.
Our favorite donut is actually the same, a raspberry filled.
I think you're coming around to what
You
I
like a maple bacon, but
I like the bacon ones too. Those are pretty good. So there it is, Angie. That is try new foods because it might taste good. But now it's time for a few final thoughts. All right, Angie, it's time for a few final thoughts. And Angie, we're going to bring it on home. We're going to wrap it up here. We got one question this week. We got to still film a special Q&A bonus video. We'll be doing that very soon, so be on the lookout for that on the channel as well. But Angie, we're going to wrap it up with a few final thoughts. We got one question of the week. Before we do that, make sure you do subscribe to this podcast wherever podcasts are found. Always helps to share the podcast as well. Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe to both my YouTube channels. Don't forget Patreon, all that kind of fun stuff. But we got a question this week from Win Hockey. Hi, Kyle and Angie. Still loving all your toy content. Enjoy the podcast. Haven't missed a one. He's a real one. Real one of the week from Win Hockey. I've been wondering, what do you usually do with the little accessories? They look like they could take over a whole room if left unsupervised. Do you have a secret treasure vault, or do they just form tiny mountains off camera? I imagine a chaotic drawer somewhat living its best cluttered life. They seem to multiply like gremlins. As always, appreciate your thoughts. Stay awesome. Win. Win, last name Hockey. That's a great name, but Angie, I'll take this one.
Okay.
What I do is, so if I do a Mattel Elite review, say I do Elite Series 125, all the extra accessories, they go into a baggie. I get some tape. I write on there, Elite 125, put them all from that set in there, throw it in there.
It's a good thing I had all those leftover baggies from, my 20s.
Yeah. we know what you're up to. We know what you're up to. But I use all those baggies, and then what I do is I save the boxes for my Ultimate Editions, like the 2-pack Dudley Boys or Steiner Brothers, whatever. I write on there, WWE Elites. I throw the baggie in those. Same kind of thing. All my Super 7 Thundercats, they go in their own baggies. And then I think I have Super 7 Thundercats, Super 7 Turtles, whatever. I have them in a box together. So I have a bunch of different boxes. Now, if you see in my action figure reviews, I have the Detolfs. I have all those drawers down below. You don't see them on camera, but down below.
The
risers have doors, and I store a lot of the hands in there. I have different systems, but it's still a lot. And it's a lot if I ever try to sell these one day. It's going to be very annoying to have to dig through. It's like, okay, I'm selling, Cody Rhodes from Elite 125. Now here's the baggie. I found 125. Now I got to open it up. Okay, which ones are his? It's a whole thing. So it's wild. Our good friend over at Jay's Toys and Games, they took in a huge collection, and it was a massive collection. And this guy said he threw away all of his accessories. He used what he wanted on the figures for his display. Everything else didn't want to bag him, didn't do anything, just threw him in the garbage. That's a power move. Like, at the end of the day, I would never throw them away, but if you don't want to be meticulous, I'd at least just have a bucket and throw them all in that bucket. At least they're all there. And if you sell your collection, you're like, here's this bucket, and do what you want.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
You used to store them in those 3-tiered or 6-tiered plastic bins.
Yeah.
But it's gotten so
there's too
much.
I don't know. It's too much down there, and I do have mountains around there because when I do reviews, I will put a pile here. I don't baggie them all up at once. I usually once a week I go through and I do 12 baggies, and I'm like, okay, here's this pile, and I just remember that week of baggies.
You're like a dealer. You're like, hey,
it's horrible. My basement is such a mess. My collection is such a mess. My work has taken over my whole life. Every hour of the day, I was trying to get some time off to try to organize some of this. I can't do that. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if I just have to give it all up or what, or just, I don't know. I'm at the crossroads, like a young Bone Thugs and Harmony. I don't know what to do. That's the story for another day. And that leads us to the end of the Kyle Peterson Show. And as usual, Angie, you know what that means?
Oh, God.
Angie, what did you learn today?
He-Man movie good, He-Man donuts bad.
That pretty much sums it up. We didn't have all the extra stuff this week. We kind of had our just our He-Man specific episode. Have you decided to be a He-Man collector? Are you going to enjoy He-Man collecting? It hasn't taken you to another level of appreciation for He-Man.
No, I'm good.
Would you like to audition for a role in the sequel?
No, I would be terrible at acting.
You'd be terrible at acting. No, you do it a lot.
I'm too embarrassed.
I've noticed your acting skills are pretty terrible. I have noticed a few times, but what I don't know doesn't kill me.
You just said you knew.
I knew. Deep down, I know. Deep down, I know. But there it is. That's episode 63. Until next time, Angie, tell everybody goodbye in your own special He-Man inspired way.
By the power of Grayskull, I have the power.
gonna dance or are we gonna play?